Divorce is hard. NextGenJustice makes the process easy. We are committed to providing another key into the courthouse so that you can feel good about representing yourself in this important legal matter. In keeping with that commitment, I sat down with our general counsel, our very awesome, very British attorney, Deborah Herbeck. We talked a little bit about some of the questions that our actual customers have asked us as they go through their divorce proceedings. If you have time, I'd love for you to check out the whole Q&A. It's over on our blog at nextgenjustice.com. But if you don't have time for that, the take home is this. Just come into the store, even if you don't think we can help you, because chances are we can. Even if your spouse won't sign, even if you have questions about child support guidelines, we have resources to help you make good decisions about these things. We'd love to see you. If you want more information about where your local store is or any of our other services, come check us out at nextgenjustice.com. If you have a specific question, feel free to shoot us an email. We are at info@nextgenjustice.com. And we'd also love to hear from you on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we've got it. All the links and information about that is on our website as well. I'm Katie Clough, and I work at NextGenJustice, and this is Deborah Herbeck, our General Counsel. Today we're going to be talking about some questions that our customers have asked us about divorce. Now, if you have any more questions that you'd like us to address in future episodes, please send them to us. We'd love to hear from you. You can reach us through our website, which is nextgenjustice.com. Send us an email at info@nextgenjustice.com, or find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we've got it. All that information is on nextgenjustice.com as well. So how long does the whole divorce process take, start to finish?
NextGenJustice can turn the paperwork around in a matter of days from when you first come into the store. After that, you sign some of the documents, your spouse signs some of the documents, and then we file them with the court. The time it takes after that really depends on how quickly the wheels of justice are turning at the moment that we file the documents. Sometimes it's slowed down by the fact that the court clerk has a backlog or the judge is on vacation, but usually we tell people that between 6 to 8 weeks from when we file the papers is a reasonable time for them to expect to see their divorce judgment in hand.
Now, you mentioned that the spouse signs some paperwork as well. What if they don't want to sign, or what if I can't find my spouse?
Well, that can slow things down a little bit too, because that would then slow down the period between when NextGenJustice produces the paperwork and when we file them with the court. But we can still help you do your uncontested divorce. In the event that your spouse does not actively consent by signing off on the defendant's affidavit, and you end up having to have them served formally with papers by a process server or someone else eligible to serve papers in New York. If the spouse does nothing, it's still an uncontested divorce. It's essentially called a default divorce. If they contest the divorce, they need to actively answer the papers, and that's the situation where NextGenJustice can no longer help you and you need to get a lawyer. But if you serve them with the papers and they do nothing, they don't respond at all, and you can prove to the court that they had notice of the proceedings and did nothing, then NextGenJustice can help you see that process through to the end.
So it sounds like child support would be one of those hot button issues that can create a lot of friction as you're trying to, go through this process. Is there any kind of help for that, or guidelines? Does the state put anything out that says this is what you should expect or what you should ask for?
NextGenJustice has documentation and guides that they make available in their store and on their website that can show you how to calculate the child support that's appropriate in your situation.
And how does all that information and any other, stipulations get put into the divorce documents? Is there a separate document that includes all that, or?
As the customer, you come into the store and you'll complete the forms that NextGenJustice has available, which is basically a series of very simple questions that need to be answered, and then based on the information that you input into NextGenJustice's software, the forms are essentially generated, and that's what is used to submit to the court.
What are the reasons I could get divorce, I guess, to put it that way? Are there specific criteria that I have to fulfill in order to be able to file a divorce proceeding?
Most states have no-fault divorces now. So generally, that used to be the case that you would need to have a grounds for divorce. But in most states, there's a no-fault ground for divorce that you can rely on, and generally speaking, NextGenJustice would require you to use the no-fault ground if you want to use their service.
Okay, could you say a little bit more about what that means? I'm not sure I understand what it means to have no fault.
Traditionally, within sort of the old-fashioned way of doing things and the traditional views of marriage, it was a really big deal to get divorced, and you would need to make a substantive allegation against your spouse, such as domestic violence or adultery or something that they've abandoned you for a certain period of time. Nowadays, it's more accepted that there may be other reasons, such as irreparable breakdown of the relationship or irreconcilable differences is what they call it in many states. So you're not required to tell the court exactly why you're getting divorced. They just, if you allege that the marriage is broken down and you want a divorce and your spouse either actively agrees or doesn't contest that, then it's called a no-fault divorce. In other words, you didn't allege that the other party had done something wrong as a basis for the divorce.
Okay, so basically it's now acceptable to say it just didn't work, and that's a valid reason in most states.
Correct.
Okay.
There's often a little bit of a waiting period, because you can't get married one day and say it didn't work the next day. There's a certain period of time you need to wait before you can say that it didn't work. For example, in New York, you need to allege that there has been a irreparable breakdown of the marriage for a period of at least 6 months. It's different in every state.
Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to get the chance to serve you soon.